I wanted to begin the new year by sharing this with you so that over the next few weeks, you can get really focused. And three is a very small number. These are three very small things, but they will lead to big results and they are life changing. If we begin to think like this, you have no idea how much progress we can make just over the next few months. So instead of having 10 things on your list, have these three and get really, really clear. All right. So if you only had limited time, you only had limited resources, and you only had limited energy, these would be the three things I suggest you think about this year if you want to grow your business. This is your host, Dyutama, but you can call me DJ. And I love to inspire food photographers to dream. I spent 15 years as an architect studying buildings and constructing hospitals before taking the biggest leap of faith of my life, which was setting up a food styling and food photography business right from scratch. If you're a dreamer like me, wanting to start a new photography business or grow your existing food photography business, jump right into a world where I share practical, actionable strategies to improve your photography skills, to work with clients, make more money, all with a fearless mindset. This is the My Food Lens podcast, and we take you one step closer to your dreams. So let's go. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the My Food Lens podcast. Let's just begin this year by being absolutely laser focused. Because you see, when we nail down maybe 2 or 3 things that we really want to achieve in a year, they don't feel too difficult. But when we put down 10 different things on a list, oh my God, overwhelm kicks in and none of the items on our list ever see the light of the day. Am I right or am I right? So if you're looking to really grow your business this year, or maybe you've not even made your goals this year, no matter what, I'm going to give you 3 simple yet needle moving things that you should be thinking about if you want to move forward and grow your business. Let's say you have not made your goals so far. Somehow, when you listen to this, it might give you new ideas. It might give you a direction, some clarity. Maybe you will be inspired or encouraged to, pick one goal or 2 goals or really have some kind of a way that you want to move forward in your business. So either way, whether you are laser focused, you want to grow your business, or you are right now at a point where you haven't established goals, this episode will give you 3 simple yet needle moving things that you can think about and actions that you can take today so that you can see that growth, that movement tangibly. And this is what I stand for. I really want everything to be so, so real. And that's why when you are able to go through these 3 things that I'm going to talk about today, you are able to take action on it, you will be able to see your growth tangibly. And by that, I mean, you'll be able to see growth in the clients that you get, maybe in the work that you create, in the money that you make, in the confidence that you feel, and the yes that you say at the end of the year. There are many different ways to feel results tangibly, and everything, whether it is confidence, money, more work, or just the quality of what you create, everything is a tangible result. So by thinking about these 3 things, you'll definitely be able to see tangible results when you take action. Basically, if you are looking to, take a step forward in your business, or maybe if you're feeling stuck, you don't know how to take a step forward in your business, let me share these very 3 simple things that can unstuck you basically and get your wheels moving. So, for me, I'm all about intention. I mean, if you've been hearing me for a while, you know that I take every little step with intention. I mean, that's my goal. That's what I try most of the time. So, when I was living in Virginia, which was many, many eons ago, I was living in Virginia. And it was my first job after getting my master's degree in architecture. I learned how to drive. That's right. Learned rather late in life, but I learned how to drive. And my driving instructor, he was this African American guy, and he was an absolute rock star. Oh my God. So we are in this training session, and he was teaching me how to reverse the car. So he took me to an empty parking lot at a Walmart, and I think it was in the middle of the day, so it was almost empty. And he looked at me and he said, DJ. So he didn't let me park. All right. So we are just about entering the car park, and he says, DJ, all these lots are empty and you can park anywhere. But that's not the way to drive. When you get into a parking lot, look at all the empty lots and then choose one empty lot. Put all your energy and focus on that lot. Take the car to it. And no matter how many lots are empty around it, reverse your car and park it only in that lot. Not to the left, not to the right. Choose your lot and park right in it. So you see, by getting intentional about where you want to park, you are always going to know exactly where to go. You're not distracted. You're not wasting time. Oh, should I park here? Maybe there. You drive right into it. You're laser focused with your attention on your back, and you park perfectly. It is focused, it's time saving, and at the end, you are more skilled and a better driver. Now, that's a lot, right? He taught me this about reversing, reversing to park a car in a parking lot. But for me, I just heard it as a real life lesson. Like for me, I hold this for everything in life. So when we are talking about three things we should be thinking about this year, for me, the number one thing that we should be thinking about this year, if we want to grow our business, is who do we want to work with? The first thing that we might want to consider doing is getting intentional. Pick your parking lot, boss. Pick your parking lot. Pick the client that you want to serve and who it is. Now, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a blogger, you're a content creator, anybody, if you are listening to this, it's the start of the year. Get crystal clear on where you're going to park your car. Get crystal clear who you want to work with, who you want to serve. I recently read this like very interesting data. It was on, I think, format.com. Now, I'm in no way affiliated with or connected to format.com. I just came across this and I thought it was very, very interesting. And basically, I don't know if you've heard of format.com, but it's a platform for photographers where they can create and they can share their work. So none of this is sponsored or affiliated in any kind, but the data was pretty darn interesting. And I thought that you should know about it. So format.com maybe did a study or they studied other studies, and they said that over 83% of photographers shared that they work with 3 or fewer types of clients. And 30% of them said that they only work with just one type of client. So I'll say that again. Over 83% of photographers work with 3 or fewer types of clients, with 37% saying that they work with just one type of client. So you see, most photographers, now this is not limited to food photography, it's in general how photographers work. So you can see that most photographers choose fewer category of clients. And the reason is because that allows them to stay focused about what kind of work they create, who they pitch to, and they build a rich portfolio in those categories. And ultimately, when they start working with certain category of clients, they start being recognized as the go-to person to be hired for that category of photography or for that style of food or for that style of photography. So if you are looking to grow your business this year, you want to work with more clients, pick your parking lot. Pick the clients you want to pursue. I would not recommend more than 3 categories. So they could be restaurants, magazines. Maybe you want to stick to these 2. Or maybe you could add maybe some online food and beverage brands. or pick whatever category that you want to work with this year and get laser focused on who is it that you want to serve. Don't be all over the place. Don't pick 10. Like we said, you pick 10, you're just all over the place. Nothing ever sees the light of the day. So pick intentionally who are you going to pitch to, who are you going to pursue, and how are you going to plan to work with them. Let's say you're creating a portfolio of work, or maybe you are just creating, beautiful photos. Get intentional, because once you know who are these clients that you want to pursue, who you want to pitch to, create the kind of work that you want to be hired for. Keep those categories in mind and create work that you can share with them to win their work. So if you had to start anywhere this year, you're a professional photographer, or you're a part-time food photographer, or you're a food blogger, content creator, or anything that you're doing, get very intentional, very clear on who is your client category, who are you going to serve. And then everything else that you do, every little step that you take, center yourself around that one decision that you have taken. And you'll just see how easy things will get, because you know exactly who you want to serve. So you know exactly what to create, and you know exactly what steps to take your business forward. Really, 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 it is that simple. All you have to do is make up your mind and then go park your car in that lot. All right. The second thing that you should be thinking about this year is whether there are opportunities that you haven't explored yet, which means you need to think about diversifying your business. Because if there are opportunities that you haven't explored yet, boss, you are leaving money on the table. And what I mean is that you really need to think about diversification, but please don't roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes and get all caught up with this heavy word diversification and this much used, actually overused word diversification. But just think of it simply. Are you happy with what you're making in your business right now? If you are looking to make more, and if you are wanting to grow, then think, is there any other way that I can bring in more money into my business with the skills that I already have? Okay, maybe not already have, with minimal effort. Where am I right now? Is there something that I can do, I can offer, but I'm not doing it? And that could mean extra revenue. I mean, is there anything that you feel you haven't tried yet? And it can be anything. When I say anything, it really can be anything. It can be a new category of clients. Have I explored that category? How about a new service that you can offer? Are you just doing photography? How about videography and art direction? And maybe just retouching? About a new product, a new style of photography. Maybe right now you are only doing soft light editorial style, but suddenly you are getting into pop art and levitation photos. What if there's a new style of photography and that opens a whole new category of client base for you? So there are many ways that you can create work and diversify your business. Do not stay limited to just thinking about photography and service. There are multiple types of clients, there are multiple types of work, and you, my friend, are multiply talented. You are incredibly talented. You don't even know how much you can offer, and there are so many little things where you can step in to provide that service and bring in that extra revenue for your business. In fact, my personal opinion is that diversification is absolutely essential. And it is actually one of the strongest ways to grow a business. I mean, no matter how we diversify, it's actually, I just feel that it's a really smart thing to do. And that is because we are really not relying on just one income stream. And you have so many different ways to bring in revenue and stay secure financially as a creator, as an entrepreneur, because that is really the biggest scary thing that we face, right? We are so insecure. Am I going to get paid this month? Oh, how much did I make this month? Oh, how is this going? How am I going to pay rent? Oh my God, this will I be able to afford my holiday? Oh, how about the children's school? Am I contributing to my husband's or my partner's income? I mean, money is such a thing, right? So if we can diversify, really, it helps us to stay secure financially in a big way. and with very little effort. We are mostly tapping into talent or skills that we already have. Now, as a food photographer, we can really work with a brand in many different ways beyond just creating photos. And there are several opportunities that creators either miss or they don't even consider when pitching to brands. Now, you need to just open up the range of services you offer to create more ways to bring in revenue, enrich your portfolio, grow your skills, and have a larger client base. Really, that is what diversification can do. And when I say it can be anything, really, if you're offering photography, maybe start offering another service like videography. If you're only working with restaurants, start working with maybe global brands for content creation. If you're only a photographer, maybe start teaching on the side. Education is big, right? Now, if you're wondering, if you're at a place where you're like, yeah, DJ, you're speaking my language. Totally. I'm vibing, I'm jiving with this. If you're with me on board right now, but you are a bit lost and you're thinking, oh my God, okay, what should I think about? I mean, where do I even start thinking about how I can diversify? How do I know what skill I have that I can offer? I got your back, my friend. I got you. I have a mini course that actually walks through maybe 13 or different ways that you can diversify your business. And I link it in the show notes if you are interested. If you are really looking for growth, extra revenue with the skills that you already have, then definitely go check it out because there is no dearth of the different ways that you can diversify. Remember, some revenue streams bring more money and some bring less. Okay, quite obvious. Like there will be some revenue streams that will bring you more money and some will bring you less. Similarly, there are some services that need higher commitment from you and some that don't. So you can have a really good combination of different kind of services and revenue streams so that your business is always up and running and you are not out of steam. So this year or in the past years, if you have not yet thought about diversification, this would be a really good time to give it some thought. All right. Because, like I say, diversifying your income streams is actually essential. It is absolutely essential for long term success and for growth. And almost all businesses in the world do it. Think about it. Think about it. Think of Apple. What all does Apple create? Does it only create computers? No. Oh, come on now. Apple does phones and watches and computers and I don't know what not, earpods, what not. That is diversification, my friend. All right. So, almost all businesses in the world do it. So why shouldn't we? All right. That would be the second thing you need to think about this year. And now the third one. So the third thing that you should definitely be thinking about is what is the one skill you will learn this year? Something I recently heard from a top entrepreneur, which absolutely inspired me. And that person, he said that at the end of the year, when we look back, we should be able to count at least one or maybe two new skills that we learned that year. So imagine if we continue like this for a few years, learning one skill at a time in a year, which is so small, ultimately compounded over the years, we will always be on a path of reinventing ourselves. We will always be enriching our skill set. We'll always be raising our value and getting better every year. I mean, I don't know one person who is listening right now who would say, I don't want to get better and I don't want to reinvent and I don't want to raise my value. You are here, you are listening to this because you care about moving forward, tapping into your highest value, your highest potential. I don't know one person who is right now listening to this and not thinking that, yes, I would love this for myself. So if you have not thought about it, think about one skill that you would like to learn this year. It does not have to be complicated at all. It can be anything you choose, boss. You are the boss of your life. You choose what is the one thing that you would love to explore. I'll tell you how I did it, and I'll tell you how I kept it very uncomplicated and not overwhelming at all. So when I looked back at 2024, all right, last year, I was trying to think, okay, what was a new skill I learned? And then I realized Okay. Not that I learned anything new in photography. I didn't learn videography. I didn't do any of that related to photography directly. But then I realized that I had actually worked with a web developer to create a new website for my brand. And while that was the developer's team, I was also designing the website on the side. And in the process of working with those techie guys, I learned so much, so much, so much about website designing. In fact, I learned so much about developing websites and the tech behind it. And I also moved to a new hosting platform, a platform where I now host my website, my courses, my email platform. And I learned that entire thing right from scratch, right from the design to the developing to the tech to the admin to the everything that you can think about. Over a few months, I learned everything about it, creating it from scratch. So that was a skill that I counted for 2024. It was not directly related to photography. It was not a new technique, but yet it was something, a skill that I most definitely am proud of learning. And I'm proud because I learned something that was out of my comfort zone. It doesn't have to be the same for you, it can be anything. So for 2025, I'll tell you how I am not putting pressure on myself to learn a new skill, but it's something that will happen automatically. And I'm sharing this so that you don't feel the pressure. You don't feel the overwhelm that, oh my God, one more thing to do. Now I need to sit and rack my brain to think about one new skill. Oh, goodness. And then you spend a week trying to figure out what is the one new skill you want to learn. It doesn't have to be like that. Sometimes the skills that we learn are indirect to what we do. They are not directly correlated. Like for me, it was learning how to create a website and learning how to work with a developer and do the tech part of a hosting platform. All right. For 2025, I want to share with you what my plans are and how I intend to learn new skills. So, if you asked me to choose a skill, I would not be able to give you an answer because then I would be in your team sitting here racking my brain and saying, one more thing to do. All right. But I know that I have certain goals for this year that will push me to pick up new skills. So this year, I am planning to launch my star course on client communication. Okay. It's something you're going to hear about very soon. It's a course that basically teaches you how to think, how to speak, how to write, what to say at every touch point with a client, whether they are inquiring, you are pitching. Basically, it teaches you how to remove objections that clients put on us. You're too expensive, you're too this, you're too that. It teaches how to create proposals and basically express and communicate your value very powerfully to the client so that they want to work with you and you are never, ever at a loss of what to say, what to do, what do I do next, how do I write this, what should be a reply, they don't want to pay me. I'll be launching that course. Okay. It's all about communication. And for me, I feel like we photographers really need this because we are so visual. We sometimes lose opportunities just because we cannot express ourselves in the best way. We cannot stand for our value and we cannot really compete with those who day in and day out face clients, stand on stages, and speak like a boss. So I have created this course, which will be on client communication. Now, I'll be launching that course in a few months. And I know that in order to launch, I need to learn many things myself. I need to learn new applications. I need to learn a lot of tech. I need to learn a lot about marketing. And in order to bring my course in front of you, I need to first learn a lot of these things that are not quite my role or my primary job, right? I'm not a marketing professional. I'm not someone who can put a tech system together. And so there'll be a lot of learning, whether I'm doing it myself or I'm hiring a team for this. There will be a lot of things that will come along the way of launching the course that I will have to first learn to be able to hire the right team. So I have this part mapped out in a way that my new skills will be a byproduct of my goals for this year. So you see, it does not have to be complicated at all. You choose to go about this your way. Either choose a skill that you want to work on, that's fine, or find a skill to take you to your goals. It's just the same thing. They are all interconnected. Either way, at the end of the year, you will learn something and you should be able to say, I learned something new this year. And boss, if you have not connected the dots so far, please let me spell it out for you. That when I'm talking about launching my course this year, I'm diversifying my business. I'm clear on who I want to serve and I'm channeling my energy there. I'm also taking this as an opportunity to learn new skills that will not only serve me to create the course, but they will also get added to my skill set. And later on, who knows, God knows, maybe even help me diversify my business. All right. So, whatever I'm telling you right now is exactly where I am. It's exactly what I'm doing as well. So, you and I, we are all in this together. This approach of these three simple things have helped me get so much clarity. I can see the months ahead. I know exactly what action I need to take, one small step at a time. I'm in this with you. And if you're on board, then you're going to see tangible results by taking small, simple action on these three things. If you're looking to grow your business, please remember one thing. Remember that our actions are all interrelated. You know how I talked about launching a course, but my launching a course is all about who am I serving? How am I diversifying? And what is a new skill that I'm learning? So remember that one thing can lead to many different tangible results. All our actions are interrelated. You take one intentional action, and it has a ripple effect of benefits from money to skills to word of mouth to network to confidence. Many realms of your personal and your professional life will see the benefit of one action, one clear action that you take. And it always starts with one. Remember that. Do not overcomplicate it. And that's why I wanted to begin the new year by sharing this with you so that over the next few weeks, you can get really focused. And three is a very small number. These are three very small things, but they will lead to big results and they are life changing. If we begin to think like this, you have no idea how much progress we can make just over the next few months. So instead of having 10 things on your list, have these three and get really, really clear. All right. So if you only had limited time, you only had limited resources, and you only had limited energy, these would be the three things I suggest you think about this year if you want to grow your business. Pick your parking lot and then drive exactly into it, not to the left, not to the right, exactly into it. Let's be laser focused this year and let's get some big things done. All right. If you found this episode helpful, tell me all about it. Send me an email on hello@myfoodlens.com or drop me a DM on Instagram at Dyutama_myfoodlens. If you have a minute, go rate the podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you are listening. I would so appreciate it. All right. And if you come up with the three things that you want to do this year, definitely share them with me. I'm going to be cheering you on. I'll see you next week with another episode. Until then, bye-bye.